Hello and welcome to Stoneface Pics. Today we will be taking a tour of an island located in the Xochimilco canals about 45 minutes south of Mexico City, which is filled with ghostly old dolls. It's both a tourist destination and a popular haunted spot. The island's strange collections of dolls is believed to be the result of a tragic event that occurred in the 1950s. Legend has it that a girl fell into the water and drowned. Before we move ahead, please do like and subscribe our channel, it really helps us grow. Now the story goes, if you're ever in Mexico City, one thing you must definitely see is an island filled with hundreds of old dolls. And the story behind this haunted site is nothing short of captivating and terrifying. The island is situated in Xochimilco, a region of Mexico renowned for its canals and artificial islands. The region of the country exudes history and charm, but also has some dark sides. In the 1950s, Don Julian Santana Barrera moved to Xochimilco in search of solitude and to escape his family's influence. While here, he heard an intriguing legend about a young girl who had drowned nearby. He sought a way to appease the ghost of the girl by hanging her dolls in the trees on the island. Over the course of several years, he collected every dirty doll he could find, whether it came from trash or washed up in the canals. He hung them from trees or nailed them to buildings and shacks or strung them along clothesline in hopes that these objects would bring her spirit back to life. Over the years, more and more visitors have flocked to the island. While some may have been scared of the creepy dolls, others just come to pay their respects or just out of curiosity. Visitors to the islands have two options for getting there: take a boat tour around the area or drive themselves. However, for an up-close experience with the dolls, book a private tour. Tours to the islands of the dolls are a popular stop on these tours, which typically costs around $75 for 4 hours. Several companies offer them. Before visiting the island of the dolls, there are a few things that you should know. Make sure to bring water with you as you may need it while exploring its grounds. Be wary of any tour offerings to take tourists on an unreal island. The real one is well known, but some fakes have been found nearby. The Dolls. Just south of Mexico City, the island of the Dolls is an unsettling destination filled with decaying dolls strung up on trees. Though it may appear unsettling at first glance, tourists flock to this haunted spot in search of an unforgettable experience. The island is situated within the Xochimilco canals and can only be accessed by a boat. The journey from the main pier in this waters to the island takes about an hour. Legends abound about the origin of this mysterious island. One tale recounts a gardener who saw a girl drowning in the canal and tried to save her, but was unsuccessful. To honor her memory, he decided to hang a doll on the island as an act of respect. Over the next 50 years, a man claiming to be the island's caretaker collected the dolls from canals and trash and hung them around his cabin. Many had limbs or eyes missing, while some had been mutilated in various ways. Barrera became obsessed with collecting dolls to appease the spirit of his girlfriend, eventually moving on to La Isla de las Muñecas, the island of the dolls. He began to display dolls around his cabin as a tribute to her life, but the ghostly girl spirit soon became too much for him to bear. And so he resolved to hang as many dolls as possible in an effort to appease the spirit. Eventually, Santana's collections of dolls spread throughout the island. Many were headless or torsoless, covered in dirt, and had their limbs severed. Even though they are severely damaged and in need of repair, some of the dolls have become animated after dark. According to local legends, some can move their heads, arms, and even open their eyes, giving them more of a ghostly aura than actual people. These stories may be exaggerated and the island not possessed, but there can be no doubt that it's an unearthly place to visit. It's best to avoid visiting at night if possible, as some of the dolls have been known to move their bodies and open their eyes when tired. The place. If you're searching for an unsettling, unnerving place to visit in Mexico City, look no further than the island of the dolls. Situated near Xochimilco, the island is covered with hundreds of dismembered dolls which hang from trees and boats alike. The island is situated within the Xochimilco canals, built by the Aztecs and now a World Heritage Site. This network of waterways and artificial islets was designed to enable people to cultivate crops without invading upon surrounding wilderness areas. After the Aztecs died, this area became a home base for native Mexicans who used canals to navigate waters and build chinampas, artificial islands in fresh water, as home bases. In the 1950s, Don Julian Santana Barrera, a local hermit, discovered the body of a young girl who drowned while playing on one of these chinampas. Feeling guilty, he hung up her doll as a kind of a memorial to her. Atlas Obscura reports that Santana was afraid the spirit of his daughter would seek revenge against him and wanted to appease her, so he collected hundreds of dolls and hung them from trees on this island as an offering and thanks. Today, the Island of the Dolls is a tourist attraction renowned for its mysterious tale. Visitors to this idyllic island will encounter an array of dolls ranging in size from tiny to large, some with porcelain skin, and others sporting burnt or mutilated faces. No wonder this place is so haunted. Reports indicate the island may be haunted, with some visitors reporting seeing dolls' head turn around and follow them as they explore. Tour guides Jose Gabriel Gonzalez Franco and Teresa Reina both tell CNN Travel the Island of the Dolls is quite haunted, with paranormal activity evident around every corner. They report seeing shadows moving around and hearing whispers, footsteps, and wails of spirits echoing throughout the area. Whatever your views on it, the Island of the Dolls is certainly worth visiting. Situated within Xochimilco waterways, it can only be accessed by boat. The best time to visit. The Island of the Dolls, commonly referred to as La Isla de las Muñecas in Spanish, is an unsettling island hidden deep within the Xochimilco canals just south of Mexico City. On the islands of the Gran Canaria, thousands of dolls hang from ceilings, trees, and boats anchored off the shore. Some are large while others are miniature. Some may have been mutilated or burned. Some locals believe the island is to be haunted by a little girl who had drowned here years ago, yet no real evidence supports this belief. The mysterious Chinampa, an artificial island built in fresh water, was constructed during the Mexican Revolution to protect lands from flooding. Unfortunately, in 1950, a child fell into the waters from this island, and Don Julian Santana, a local man, jumped in to save her but tragically drowned while trying to reach her. Since then, the Island of the Dolls has become a sought-after tourist attraction in Mexico City. Indeed, numerous tour operators offer tours that include stop at this idyllic island. Visitors to this island must take a boat ride from one of the Xochimilco jetties, located 28 kilometers south of Mexico City. Be aware that this trip can be expensive, so it's wise to check prices before you embark on your journey. If you don't have your own boat, there are other ways to get to the island. You could try taking a taxi or taking the metro to Xochimilco and then taking the tram for transport onto the island. For the ideal time to visit the Island of the Dolls, is best to come during the day, when it's more serene and less crowded. However, if you wish to experience it at night, be prepared for some creepy vibes. Some tourists even claim that this island is haunted by santos, or spirits living nearby. Many have reported hearing voices or an unseen presence whispering through the trees. But the Island of the Dolls is most famous for its tragic backstory. Old Barrera had lived here alone for 25 years, collecting dolls from trash cans and dumpsters around Xochimilco to hang on this island in hopes that it would scare away a young girl who drowned here. So that's it for the video. Hope you liked it, and if you visited the place, then do let us know about your experience in the comments below.